The suicide. The man kept staring at his hands. They trembled violently in front of his face as though they did not belong to him. He is sweating, shaking, panicking. His sister stood in the doorway of the kitchen, confused and frightened. She thinks he is having a mental episode. "Naughty, what's wrong with you?" But Naughty did not answer her. His eyes were wide, not just wide, terrified, as if he were staring at something only he could see. His breathing came in short bursts. "I'm still sitting there," he whispered. His sister frowned. "What?" He looked at her slowly, like someone waking from a nightmare. Then he repeated it again. "I'm still sitting there." A drop of sweat rolled down his temple. "I'm still eating." His sister forced a small laugh. "You're scaring me. What are you talking about?" But Naughty was no longer listening. He looked down again at his hands, turning them over, opening and closing his fingers, testing them, like someone wearing another person's body. "That's not me," he whispered. "I'm seeing things that I cannot explain. I don't feel so good." "What?" His voice shook harder now. "That's not me." His sister stepped closer. "Naughty, you're having a panic attack. Sit down." But he stepped backwards suddenly, violently. "No!" His eyes darted toward the window, then the door, then the walls, like something was hunting him. "I left," he said. His breathing quickened. "I left the diner." Silence filled the room. His sister blinked. "What diner?" His voice dropped to a whisper. "But I never left." The words felt wrong in a way that made the air feel colder. He began shaking uncontrollably.
"I'm still sitting there," his voice cracked. "Still eating." His sister reached for him. "Naughty, listen to me." But suddenly he screamed, a raw, broken scream. "Make it stop!" Before she could react, he rushed toward the drawer beside the sink, pulled something out, a kitchen knife. "Naughty!" Body thudded on the floor like dead weight, but it was already too late. The police arrived 12 minutes later. Officer Nikolai, a young patrol officer, stepped into the small apartment carefully. The sister sat on the couch wrapped in a blanket, her face pale. A paramedic whispered something to another officer in the hallway. Nikolai knelt beside her. "I know this is difficult," he said gently, "but I need you to tell me exactly what happened." She swallowed hard. He kept saying strange things." "What kind of things?" Her eyes were distant. "He said he was still eating." Nikolai frowned slightly. "What?" "He kept saying," her voice trembled, "I'm still sitting there. I'm still eating." Nikolai wrote it down slowly. "Anything else?" She nodded weakly. "He said something else before. What was it?" She looked up, tears sliding down her face. "He said, 'That's not me.'" Nikolai stopped writing. "What do you mean?" Her voice dropped to a whisper. "He said he left the diner." A pause. "But he never left." The room was silent. Nikolai closed his notebook. Mental breakdown. That was the obvious explanation. It was filed later as a suicide caused by psychological distress. The case was closed and eventually forgotten. Except for one detail. The sister insisted on one thing until the day she died. Naughty had never visited a diner that day.
The present day, 22 years later. Night settled quietly over the town. Traffic lights blinked lazily at empty intersections. Neon signs flickered above quiet streets. Among them, one sign glowed brighter than the rest. The Midnight Cafe Diner. The warm yellow lights inside made the building look inviting. Comfortable. Safe. Steam drifted from mugs of coffee. Plates clinked softly. The smell of grilled meat floated into the street. And people kept coming. They always did. Because everyone said the same thing. It had the best food in town.
Mahlid stepped out of a business building across the street. He loosened his tie. It had been a long meeting. Too long. His stomach rumbled faintly. Not real hunger, just the kind that came after skipping lunch. He checked his phone. 5:12 p.m. Plenty of time before dinner. He glanced across the street. The diner's neon sign buzzed softly. The Midnight Cafe Diner. Mahlid had heard about it before. People at work talked about it often. Best burger in town, you have to try it. He hesitated. Maybe just coffee. He crossed the street.
The bell. The door opened. A small bell chimed. For a brief moment, the entire diner went quiet. Forks paused. Plates stopped moving. Then everything resumed again. Mahlid didn't notice. But something changed inside him. His stomach tightened. Suddenly, he felt hungry. Very hungry. His mouth watered instantly. The smell of food filled his lungs. Fresh bread, grilled beef, hot oil. His hunger deepened. Not normal hunger. Something sharper. Something demanding. He walked inside. The waitress. She appeared almost immediately, as if she had been waiting. Her smile was warm. Too warm. Welcome. Her voice was calm and smooth. You look hungry. Mahlid laughed slightly. I guess I am. First time here? Yes. She nodded knowingly. Then you should try something special. She handed him a menu, but she already seemed certain what he would choose. If you like, she added softly, your first meal is free. Mahlid blinked. Free? It's our way of welcoming new guests. He chuckled. Well, that's generous. Her smile widened slightly. Yes, she said. It is. The dining room. Mahlid walked deeper into the diner. The place was peaceful, almost hypnotic. But something was strange. Everyone was eating. No one was talking. No laughter, no conversation. Just chewing. Slow, endless chewing. Forks lifted, bites taken, plates scraped. Mahlid barely noticed. He slid into an empty booth. Across the room, someone sat alone, eating quietly. Mahlid stared at him. The man looked familiar, very familiar, like someone he had seen before. But the memory slipped away, and he forgot about it. The first bite. The waitress returned with his food, a burger, fries, coffee. Steam curled from the plate. The smell was unbelievable. Mahlid picked up the burger, took one bite, and froze. It was perfect. Not just good, perfect. Every flavor he had ever loved seemed combined into a single taste. His hunger exploded. He devoured the meal, every bite, every fry, every drop of coffee. Minutes later, the plate was empty. Mahlid leaned back, satisfied. The waitress watched quietly, still smiling. After a few seconds, he stood up and left. Patricia. 2 days later. Patricia rushed down the street toward the university bus stop. Her stomach growled. She had skipped lunch again. Classes had run long. A friend beside her laughed. You're always starving. Patricia sighed. I barely ate today. They stopped at the crosswalk. The smell reached them. Warm, rich, irresistible. Patricia turned her head.
The neon sign glowed. The Midnight Cafe Diner. Her friend pointed. "Oh, that place is amazing. You've been there?" "Yeah, best food in town." Patricia hesitated. Her stomach twisted harder. Maybe just something quick. Inside again. The bell chimed as Patricia entered. For half a second, silence. Then plates resumed moving. The waitress appeared instantly. "Welcome." Patricia smiled nervously. "Hi, you look hungry." Patricia laughed. "Yeah, I guess I do." "First time here?" "Yes." "Then your first meal is free. Or you can pay later whenever you want." Patricia blinked. "Really?" "Yes." The waitress tilted her head slightly. "It would be a shame to stay hungry." Patricia nodded. "Okay."
Another bite. 10 minutes later, Patricia was eating. Slowly at first, then faster. Her eyes widened. "This is incredible!" The waitress watched her carefully. "I'm glad you like it." Patricia finished everything. Every crumb. She left the diner smiling, feeling full, satisfied, and strangely, still hungry. The night hunger. That night, Patricia woke suddenly. Her stomach twisted violently. Hunger. Severe hunger. She stumbled into the kitchen, opened the fridge, ate leftovers, bread, cold pasta, fruit. But the hunger didn't fade. It stayed, burning. DiMatteo. At the factory the next morning, DiMatteo slammed his fist against a metal table. "Who moved my tools?" His coworker frowned. "Relax, man." But DiMatteo wasn't listening. His temper had been getting worse all week. He rubbed his stomach. Hunger again. Always hunger. He had eaten 3 breakfasts already, yet his stomach still felt empty. Roy. Roy sat behind the counter at his motel. He hadn't slept all night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw something strange. A diner booth. A plate. Food. He was sitting there, eating. But something about it felt wrong. He rubbed his face. Why can't I stop thinking about that place? Joyce. At the gym, Joyce collapsed onto a bench. Her trainer stared at her. "You okay?" She nodded weakly. "I just feel off." "Did you eat?" "Yeah." "What?" She hesitated. "A burger from that new diner." The trainer laughed. "Oh, the Midnight Cafe? Everyone loves that place." Joyce nodded slowly. Yes, everyone did.
The weird sign. 3 weeks later, Malid sat alone in his apartment. The kitchen table was covered with food wrappers, pizza, sandwiches, takeout boxes. But he was still hungry. His hands trembled. "I just ate." He opened the fridge again. Empty. He laughed weakly. "This is insane." His phone buzzed. A message from a coworker. "Want to grab dinner tomorrow at that diner again?" Malid stared at the message. His stomach twisted. He felt both excitement and fear. The nightmare. Malid fell asleep at the table and dreamed. He was sitting in the diner, the same booth, the same burger. He kept eating, but the food never finished. The plate refilled, over and over and over. Around him, dozens of people sat silently, all eating, no one speaking, forever. The morning.
Malid woke up screaming. Sweat soaked his shirt. His hands shook. He stared at them, turning them slowly, opening and closing his fingers. Something felt wrong. Very wrong. These don't feel like mine. The street incident. That afternoon, a man suddenly attacked someone in the street. No warning. No explanation. Witnesses later said he looked confused, almost frightened, like he didn't understand what he was doing. When police restrained him, he kept repeating the same sentence. I don't feel like myself.
The hospital. Doctors ran tests. Everything came back normal. The man kept asking one strange question. Why am I so hungry? Even after eating 3 full meals, he still complained. I feel empty. The pattern begins. At the police station, a clerk dropped a file onto a growing stack. Another strange incident. Another violent outburst. Another unexplained suicide attempt. The officer sighed. Something weird is happening in this town. Across the room, a veteran detective quietly flipped through the files. Detective Nikolai. He had seen many strange cases before, but something about these felt familiar. He stared at one witness statement, then another, and another. One detail kept appearing, not always clearly, but often enough. A location. A place people kept mentioning casually. A place many victims had visited days before their incidents. Nikolai wrote the name down. The Midnight Cafe Diner. He frowned. Something about that name triggered a memory he had buried for decades. A memory from his early days as a patrol officer. A suicide case. A man named Nadi. And strange final words Nikolai had never forgotten.
The afternoon sun hung lazily above the quiet town. Inside a modest barber shop on Pine Street, 2 men sat waiting their turn. One of them was Eric Malid. He looked different from the energetic man people once knew. His face had grown pale. His eyes carried a strange tiredness. Yet he spoke with unusual excitement. "You guys should try this place I found," he told the barber and another customer. The barber paused mid-cut. "What place?" Malid smiled faintly. "A diner. Best food I've ever tasted." "Better than Rosie's Grill?" the other customer asked skeptically. Malid nodded slowly. "Much better." The barber chuckled. "Man, that's a bold claim." Malid leaned forward slightly. "I'm serious. Once you taste it, nothing else compares." The barber raised an eyebrow. "What's it called?" Malid answered calmly. "The Midnight Cafe Diner." Across town, Patricia Hensley sat in a small cafe with 2 friends. She had barely touched her meal. Her friends noticed. "You okay?" one asked. Patricia pushed her plate away. "This food tastes strange." "It's pasta," her friend laughed. "I know." Patricia sighed. "It just doesn't taste right." Her friend smirked. "Maybe your taste buds are broken." Patricia stared down at the table. Then she spoke quietly. "There's this diner I tried recently." Her friends looked up. "It was incredible." "What diner?" Patricia hesitated before answering. "The Midnight Cafe Diner."
That evening, 2 college students walked down a dim street. They had been discussing where to eat. "Patricia said the diner on Elm Street is amazing," one said. "The Midnight Cafe Diner?" the other asked. "Yeah." They shrugged. "Let's try it." Neither of them noticed how quiet the street became as they approached the diner. The neon sign flickered softly. The Midnight Cafe Diner. The door creaked as they stepped inside. The diner felt warm, calm, comfortable. Rows of booths stretched along the walls. Several people sat quietly eating. The air carried the comforting smell of freshly cooked food. A young waitress approached the 2 students. She wore a gentle smile. "Welcome." Her voice was soft.
First time here? The students nodded. Yes. Wonderful, she said. You're going to love the food. One of the students glanced around the diner. He noticed something strange. Everyone inside seemed focused entirely on their meals. No one was talking. No one looked up. Just eating, quietly. But the atmosphere was oddly peaceful. The waitress handed the menus. What would you like to try first? She asked. Across the room, the diner door opened again. A man stepped inside. The moment his foot crossed the entrance, something impossible happened. His body vanished from the doorway, and instantly he appeared seated in a booth near the window, already eating. The two students hadn't noticed, but another new customer, who also just arrived, sitting nearby waiting for his meal, frowned briefly. "Didn't that guy just walk in?" he murmured. The strange feeling faded almost immediately. He ignored and minded his business as if nothing had happened.
The waitress remained focused on the two students. "What are you thinking of ordering?" she asked pleasantly. One of them pointed at a burger on the menu. "That looks good." The waitress smiled. "Excellent choice." She took their order and walked away. Neither student realized they had just made a decision that would change their lives forever. The waitress watches. The waitress observed the room quietly. Her smile never changed. New customers, returning customers, more plates, more food, more chewing, more souls joining the room, though none of them knew it yet. Outside the diner, the town continued its normal evening routines. Cars passed, people walked, restaurants bustled. But quietly, the influence of the midnight cafe diner was spreading. People who had eaten there recommended it to friends. Friends became curious. Curiosity led them through the diner's door, and the cycle continued. The rumors begin. People in town began talking quietly. Something strange was happening. More fights, more breakdowns, more suicides. But no one connected the pattern yet, except one man, Detective Nikolai. The politician. Townwind stepped out of a black car outside City Hall. His assistant walked beside him. "You look tired, sir." "I barely slept." "Working too hard?" Townwind shook his head slowly. "No." He paused. "I keep dreaming about food." His assistant laughed. "That's not a bad dream." Townwind didn't laugh.